another Dwarven Tavern review. My name's Josh, and today I'm joined by...
Lyric.
And today we have a word for you smart people out there that does not include me. A game, I should say. That's how smart I am. It's called Wordsy, and I'm holding it upside down to emphasize my point. So, Wordsy is a fun little game that we picked up, made by, that doesn't have the name on it.
Made by Formal Ferret Games. It is 20 minutes long, which is accurate.
Yeah.
1 to 6 players and 10 and up.
So this game is, like Lyric said, it's a fun game. So it's kind of like a mixture of Scrabble. I was going to say Yahtzee, but with no dice. So I don't know if that's actually a right word or not.
I've never played Yahtzee, so I don't know.
This game is like a Scrabble, but you're missing the board and most of your pieces.
You had to make do with what you had left, is what this game is about. There are 2 different versions that you can play. There is solo, which is, you set up the board and play by yourself using the solo card, which is right here. It, I guess, demonstrates the amount of times you go. We didn't read the solo because obviously we're not playing solo. But there's the solo, and then there is the multi-person type of game, which is 2 and up. So this is a game where you have letter cards, which are these, and you place them out on the table in front of you in rows of 8. I mean, it's an 8 total card, rows of 4, columns of 2, 3 really,
3,
in all honesty, because of the numbers, the points, they stay where they are. And then you put the letters on top of them, and then once you're done with that round, you shove it along and create a discard pile and put 4 new letters on the higher points.
Right, and the way you score the game is the bottom row is the points for each column, and then some cards have a addition to it, like an H is a +1. So it would, if it was in row or column 3, it would be 3 points plus 1, which is 4.
Yeah.
And that's how you can really kind of multiply your. Some of them are 1, some of them are 2. I don't think they go higher than 2.
No, they don't have any 3s. Like a Z is a +2, so it's 1 or 2 in addition to what you were originally scoring. So they provided us with these lovely little dry erase boards, but it naturally comes with cards that you can dispose of when you're done with the game. I'm sure you can buy more on their website.
Pencils.
Yeah. So, but they gave us a little additional piece of dry erase, which we used for our game.
Right. As you can tell, Lyric won. Because correctly is not a word. And that is also not how you spell coaxial or quaxel.
Coaddle.
Coaddle. But
correctly.
I did win one. How many rounds did I win? I won 2 rounds where I got exquisite and batters. Yeah,
he did better than me, who was, predominantly the fastest one to come up with the words.
Right.
But what you do is for each round you write a word, and then whoever finished writing the word first gets that and flips it. And
that's the start of the end of the round. So
right. So everybody else that is writing, they have to finish writing.
So, and then at the end of it, when it's empty, everybody will total up their words based off of what's on the board.
Right.
So, and then you see these 2 columns over here. Column 1 is if you were the fastest player and you scored the best word. So you get an extra point. Column 2 is if you were not the fastest player, but you scored higher than the fastest player, you get an extra point. You get extra points.
Yeah.
It helps because you don't have to be the fastest. You just need to have the best word.
Right.
So for solo play, you're playing against yourself and you're playing against a timer. So you would place the timer on 1, flip it, and then if you can think up a word, before the timer runs out, you get a bonus point. If you do, you'll lay it to the side, stop the timer and pause it, then you move down to 2, same thing, 3, same thing. In the instructions, it gives bonuses, more challenges. Like a challenge for medium is your score must at least be 110 points to win. 120 for hard and stuff and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so like even I wouldn't have gotten a winning point for that one because I only ended up with 99 points.
And there is one that has, it does say in the rule books that some players hate times. They hate time limits. So you can play without a timer. There's a handicap in here for veteran players. playing with new people.
Yeah.
So you can intentionally handicap yourself if you're playing with less skilled players.
I guess I should have handicapped myself with you.
Yeah, by not playing.
Well, I am a natural wordsmith, so not in videos, but on paper, so...
But like it says, for handicap, it says players are only allowed to fully score 4 letters in their word. That's a lot. I mean, that's a big handicap, but if, you're playing with me and you're trying to spell Quexley instead of coaxial, it may not be a big enough handicap.
Well, to be honest, I mean, our scores weren't that far apart. I got 99 points and you got 81. So, like, the handicap that I would have needed would have been, like, I don't know, one less point than I would have gotten.
Right. And when you're playing with multiple people, if you feel like somebody tries to use a word that's not a word, or tries to use a word that goes against the rules, you can't use conjunctions,
names,
proper nouns,
hyphenated stuff
like that. Yeah. So if you feel like somebody's done that, then you can challenge them to prove that that's a word. And what you would do is use a pre-game agreed upon source, so your dictionary or
the internet
or Wikipedia or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's your source. So if you feel like a word is a word or not a word, and if you prove it correctly that it's not a word, then the player doesn't get any points.
Yeah.
If you're wrong and it is a word, then you get you get a negative 2 point penalty at the end.
So, for example, I knew that correctly wasn't a word.
It wasn't a word, but it's not. I was trying to spell something else.
So I was like, challenge, and that became 0 points. However, it seems that, getting 0 points would, make the game a little unfair, an advantage for the person who, I don't know, gets correct words every single time. So they've
Or knows how to spell.
They've known...
Or has a bigger vocabulary.
To include a way to even out those points, and then as you take off the 2 lowest scoring words.
So luckily I get to remove a 0 and a 14.
Both of my lowest scoring words were 14s. So that kind of evened the playing field between the 2 of us and made it a little more advantageous for him in order for him to be able to kind of catch up with the points. So...
talking down to me so much.
I don't mean to, I'm sorry.
One thing this game does really well is it even says in the rule books, play your own way, make up your own rules.
Have fun. It's a game. You're supposed to have fun with it.
If you're 2 really smart players and, maybe you don't remove maybe you don't drop the 2 lowest scores. Maybe you drop the highest scores or something.
Oh, that would be a good cap, a good penalty.
It's a fun game. I thought it was well done. I wasn't expecting a lot from it, and I wasn't expecting to really enjoy it, but I did.
Yeah, it was really fun.
So anytime I'm surprised, I'm very happy about that.
Especially when it comes to games that you think are going to be mediocre at best. I had no idea what to expect from this game. I was not the one to receive it, but I thought it was very fun. It would be a good game if you want to really, practice your vocabulary and work on your abilities.
Yeah. If Scrabble's too easy and you don't like having most of your word in front of you, play this.
I mean, it gives you a little more freedom with the words that you can select.
Right.
And, like, for example, the letters that we have in front of us are T, D, G, M, C, K, W, N. I mean, there's a million words that you can come up with. Not literally a million, but a good amount of words that you can come up with just those letters. I mean, put the vowels wherever you want, include, consonants that aren't there.
Right. So, what do you give it, Lyric?
I think I would give it I don't really see that many problems with it. I think it's a really fun game, and it's, you can play it with, any age. The only reason that it says 10 and up is because they've got really small cards and small pencils, and these cards, they would be pretty easy to lose, to be honest.
Right.
If you don't have like a solid foundation for where you can play them like we do.
Yeah, so 20 minutes, 10 and up players, 10 and up ages, 1 to 6 players.
I'd say, I have no problem with it, so I'm okay with giving it a 5. The replayability of this, for me, is high because this is my style of game. I could definitely play this with the other Taverneers.
Other than I don't like playing games that make me feel dumb. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. The instructions are easy. It's broken down. It tells you line by line what everything there is everything to do, everything there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any negatives in it, really. Yeah, I would say 5.
And I would honestly say check out the company because they were nice enough to give us the dry erase upon questioning about the usage of the paper.
So it's Formal Ferret Games. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah. And on that note, that is 5 out of 5 axes from the Dwarven Tavern. Go check them out.
All right, we have 30 seconds to finish this. So, on behalf of the entire cast and crew, I'm Josh.
I am Lyric.
And we wish for you to want nothing but adventure. And at first I feared it.
Then I charged. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.